Thank you for the stars. Eliezer Zhao. Okay, so it all started like this. Why is that? I learned it the hard way because this is too much for me. This is something that took me more than a year to learn. So it all happened about 1 year plus ago. Going back to that, just last year. And then this person, I'm not gonna say that name, but I'll call him something, which I find is a very suitable name for him, for this person. So let's just call this person Kacang, because that's a saying in Malay. Kacang lupakan kulit. Or he said the same thing to me before, of what people said to him. Now I'm gonna use it back to him. So this person Kacang. Yeah, this trait. One thing about me is that I realized also is that even when I was in college, when I was still a student starting out, like trying to do many things, even back then or even now, I always want to not just grow myself, but also to the people around me. Like, I used to do account boosting. That is quite a bad practice. Don't do account boosting, especially for esports players. I used to do account boosting for a game, something similar to Mobile Legends. I was very good at the game, and so like I saw it as a way for me to earn money that time as a student, like some part-time job for me. And then I got my friend. I asked them, the very few friends that play the game as well, but they are not good at it. But I still asked them to like join me, like we can do this together. Like, you know, account boosting, it can be solo, because it's 5, right? 5 versus 5. It can be ranking, like solo rank or duo or trio or squad. So I asked 2 of them, because that's the 2 that play the game. I asked the 2 of them to join me so that we can like go trio and then do like account boosting together, and then we could earn money together. Even though back then it wasn't some huge amount of money, but it meant something, because that was the very first idea that I had about making a living for myself. And then but turned out that, I mean, I know that they were not good at the game, but I still asked them because I saw it as a way for us to, you know, like grow together financially. And then things didn't work out, and then held on to it for a while, and then eventually I did it alone, because there's no way for the 3 of us to continue, because it was just very inefficient. But when I did it alone, it was way more efficient, and it became feasible. It became a feasible thing to do. And that was one. Like many things, even back then when I wanted to, accept YouTube, where I decided to do it alone, and it worked for me. But many other things, like I had a lot of ideas that I wanted to do back then, even now. Some business ventures or etc. And then I'll always try to convince my brother to join me. But my brother was I'll say that he has very independent mind. He never once responded to my call. And stuff like that. I always have this trait of wanting to like help the others while helping myself as well, like growing. But it can be not just growing individually, but together. And so going back at this, a year ago, I met this Mr. Kacang. And what I saw back there was a man that kind of bowed down to reality. A man that's full of passion for esports but saw no future in esports for himself and wanted to call it quits. And I gave him a reason to stay because I saw something in him. He's a very capable person. And then, yeah, we went through a lot of things together, ups and downs. A lot of good memories, I would say. I would say that it was genuine. It wasn't fake. It wasn't fake. But also I know that he's a very complicated person. He's a very hard person to love. And throughout the journey, I saw the things he did, like the nasty way and all. I know what kind of person he is, but I still trusted him because we are friends. Not to say, oh, because I helped you before, so you owe me this and that. I never look at it that way, but because I really I treated him as a friend, as a very close friend. Someone who I could have intellectual conversation with in this esports circus. And yeah, a lot of ups and downs together. Those were happy moments. And then even though I know that he's very complicated, I still trusted him because he didn't do nothing to me. As long as he treats me nice, I'll treat him the same. Actually, for me, it's kind of, people treat me bad, I'll still treat them kind of nice until I've had enough. Yeah, until I've had enough, and then that's when I'll stop. So for him, because I see him as a really close friend, and a lot of things that we did for each other, this and that, this and that, this and that. And then, yeah, and then, like what, 6 months, 8 months later, like over time, some point of time in this journey, things change. Things didn't change. His mind changed. I know that his mind changed very fast, and he can have very, very bad and evil thoughts at times. But as long as you don't do it to me, I'm fine. And I always thought that Mr. Kacang wouldn't do it to me, cause no one has done that to me before. Or not that I never met bad people in my life before, I did, but the previous times, very quickly I realized that those people are ugly, those are bad people, and I managed to cut them loose very quickly. So that's no friendship, no relationship, no nothing to begin with. So that was a life lesson for me back then. A few life lessons, but this one, the biggest life lesson by far, because it's about friendship, it's about betrayal, like things just escalated so quickly lately. But not that it just happened. It happened like a few months ago. It started happening a few months ago. That's when I started to get hurt. But because I tried to see things from the other person's point of view, try to see things from his point of view, try to understand why he did this.